There we go. We are live. And we are back at the Bomb Squad Racing League. You saw him last week, last Thursday for that matter, at Daytona for the Cup Series. We got something a little different here tonight. It is their CTS Series, original truck mod. And we've got Indianapolis, the Brickyard, the most famous track in the entire world, I would say. And we've got a small set of drivers here that are going to be juking it out and are going to be putting on a great show. Open setup. So that is going to, I think, also make things very, very interesting, which is something that we really only had our first look at in quite some time at Daytona. But now that we are at a non-super speedway, I think that is going to be a little more, little more dicey, shall we say, as tends to be the case. When you're trying to go as fast as you can. And generally, when you go as fast as you can, you try to get a little bit loose. So we'll see who's going to be able to hold on to it. We'll see who is going to have the best truck, the best speed here for tonight at Indianapolis. And of course, a very familiar face up here in the booth once again. It is Zach Rogers. And Zach, Indianapolis, it's a bit of a different beast compared to anything that like any track out there for any league. So I'm sure that the challenge is going to be quite high for all of these guys.
Yes, indeed, Andrew. And I'm really excited tonight. Someone might want to grab a fire extinguisher because there's a fire lit up under my ass. We're ready for this thing. You can just tell by I'm already stumbling over my words. But yes, very prestigious track. No matter the series you enjoy, being able to get a victory here. I would say for stock car terms, this is the second most prestigious track to win at behind Daytona. Bit of a small field tonight, 8 guys, but 8 guys will still put on a really fun show here at Bomb Squad. So 56 laps of action, 17th race of the truck season. You got BSR Nelly with a 22-point lead over Brain Fade as it stands. I'm not sure if that is with drops or not, but that is the current picture as I see it.
Gotcha on that one. Yeah, the Trick Series, kind of um, kind of the first race of every week's little 3-race deal. You got the trucks on Wednesdays, the Cup race on Thursday. That's always the big one. And then these guys also put on a GNS series on Thursday nights or Friday nights, excuse me, Friday nights. And I believe that is NXS 20, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it still 15? I believe it's
Uh,
NXS 20. But regardless, though, it is GNS, one of the very few GNS series out there. So if you want something a little different, that is definitely the way to go. If you want to try your hand at some open setup racing, it's a great league to do it. All these guys always down to help out with getting setups, building setups, fine tuning them to try to make them as drivable as possible, and just try to help you get a little bit better with building setups. They've helped me tremendously on that front. So really, really a great group of guys, um, and yeah, a great place to try your hand at open setup, which is something that I don't know, maybe a little less common in the fixed setup leagues, but still, it invites its own challenge. And despite it being only 8 trucks, it's going to be 8 of some of the best here, honestly, at BSR. You got KJ Kilojoules on the pole with a 51.067. 2/10 ahead of MacDaddy. That is Keith McLean up there in second place in the 28. Terry Scott and BSR Nelly going to be up there as well in third and fourth. Monty Keller also set a lap time in the 028. Also running tonight will be Brain Fade, Eli, and Magoo. Chris Magoo, one of the big guys that has helped to put this on. KJ, though, the one who is allowing for these streams to happen for the truck series. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot of weekly truck racing here on Wednesday nights, with only one exception, and that being March 5th, when I will not be here. But from now until the end of March, It will be nightly Wednesday night truck racing here on the channel, which is going to be awesome to see. And yeah, just how these guys are going to be able to tackle it is going to be. I keep saying it over and over again, and that's because any kind of open setup track is always going to be difficult, but especially something like Indianapolis when it's very flat but very fast at the same time, and with these long straightaways, there's no other track like it. I mean, good grief, it's a freaking rectangle. We say it's an oval, it's a rectangle.
Yes, Andrew, and to just kind of start at the top of what you were saying there, so I can kind of go through all the thoughts I have compiled in my brain.
Go for it.
That is KJ's fifth pole on the season. It's been him and Mac Daddy for the most part qualifying on the pole. They've been tough to beat. They now make up 11 of 17 poles throughout the season. KJ not having the greatest season in trucks. Only 2 wins on the year, but never count KJ out of a CTS physics race. He's really, really good in this series on the long run, so you can never count him out. If he hasn't junked it, he is a threat to win. And you can say the same for Mac Daddy. Now, talking about this track, Andrew, you nailed it right on the head. You know, it is deceivingly a bit of a tricky track to set up for. I actually brushed off my setup before we got down here into the booth, ran some laps on my own with some AI. And, you know, there's not a lot of fall off here. It's only about 7 to 8 tenths over a full run. What you want to do here is you want to run consistently about the same mid corner speed, and you really want to set the truck up to be turning on its own. So you got to mess with the caster in order to get that right. And then big key is keeping the right front below about 210 to 215 temperature wise. And you run about a 30-degree split here from the front tires to the rear. So that means the rear tires are 30 degrees or more hotter than the front tires. So you're running about 50-second lap times every lap. Fuel runs about 18 laps, and only about 7 to 8 tenths of fall off. Your right side's just about go yellow around the end of the run, and that's when it can kind of start getting tight. So in my experience, one thing that I always struggled with here in the trucks is not turning the wheel past center, because with the caster split, you want to have the wheel straight at the most while you're in the corner. If you turn even a tiny bit at all, you're heating up that right front more than you want to. So that's one thing that KJ and Mac Daddy are really good at here, is keeping the wheel straight at the center, and that's what makes them tough to beat here.
Yeah, I think that those two are going to definitely be the favorites going into this one. But yeah, knowing also their knack for running those loose setups. And I gotta imagine they're putting all the caster that or camber. Yeah, camber, that's the word I'm looking for.
Caster. No, it's caster.
Oh no, it is caster. Okay. See, it goes to show how much I know about setups.
C's. It's the C's. But I will say, it actually, now that I look at it, so I probably will be corrected post anyway, but this is actually more of a camber setup for CTS than caster. So the setup I have, which is an old Ricky J VTR setup, the cambers are maxed out 7 on the left front, -7 on the right front, and the casters are even at 1. Now in Cup, it's a different story. In Cup, you tend to run a 6 caster on the left front and a -2 on the right front, and then the car is really just kind of crooked down the straightaway. You're kind of crab walking it down the straightaway. I want to say in Cup with that setup, you're almost turning to the right a little bit in the corner to keep it straight, which is crazy.
Yeah, I definitely know exactly what you mean. With that crab though, I mean as you said, you're gonna scrub off as little speed as possible in the corners. Try to keep that right front under you, without of course getting it out too much. So yeah, I'm sure that that's gonna make for some Very interesting racing here. But speaking of racing, we have kicked it to the session. We'll get on and off here ourselves. There we go. Let's get you guys some live pictures here from the famed Brickyard, the Indy Motor Speedway, Indianapolis, Indiana. Hey, we just came off of one crown jewel with the actual Daytona 500. These guys just ran over at Daytona last Thursday, where we saw Brian Voiles get the job done. Now, who's going to be getting the job done here tonight at one of the most famous racetracks on the planet? There is KJ, that beautiful Wrangler number 029. You'd love to see that thing. Keith McLean, Mac Daddy. Golly, those things always just every time you look at them, they're just like a feast for the eyes. It's absolutely awesome. There's Nelly, Terry Scott's there on the bottom, breaking out the ThorSport colors here. As you've got a fan in the chat there.
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm gonna ignore that. Just to real quick get back to the setup talk before we go green. We can talk more about it during the race, but to give the audience an idea of how loose you're running it here in the trucks, the front bias is set to a 47.5, which is pretty far back on as far back as you can go. The wedge is all the way out at -150. So what that does to your total weight output is you've got about an even spread on the left side of the truck, 970 pounds on the left front, 985 on the left rear. But on the right side, it is very different. Only 740 pounds on the right front with 905 on the right rear. So what that does is, Andrew, is when you launch here, it is going to be hard to handle for probably the first 2 to 3 corners until the tires heat up. And then once the tires heat up, it's just a rocket ship for pretty much the whole run.
That's all that balancing act. As long as you can hold on to it in the short run, you're going to be in pretty good shape for the long run here. It is 56 laps here at the Brickyard, the world center of racing, and we are underway here in the Truck Series for Bomb Squad. Keller already off the pace there, dropping back. A little bit surprising to see that, but
he got
either
really
playing
loose.
it safe or may have had an issue there in turn 1.
Yeah, he got really loose, drove it down onto the grass, but a great save by Monty.
He's coming out of turn at number 4 here. And KJ's going to lead this first lap here ahead of Mac Daddy and Terry Scott. And now there you also see the effect of the suck up, the draft, with Keith really pulling up to KJ there. That is definitely, I think, going to play a big factor in this thing, kind of like we saw at Las Vegas last night. And I think maybe you can also elaborate on this a little bit too, but I feel like with the CTS especially, draft is going to play a big part in this. You definitely don't want to pit by yourself.
Yeah, no, with the long straightaways here, draft is even more crucial than it was last night in the NNSCRA Winter Series at Las Vegas. When I was running some laps by myself earlier offline, I was clocking about 51 zeros on my own with new tires, and even just the smallest sniff of draft here gets you about half a second. So you see these guys first lap running 51 sixes. So that's about what I was sniffing off the AI earlier. You see Nelly with a 51.5. So, and even in practice, you know, these guys were running even faster. If you look back at the train here with Eli, he runs a 51.3. So you're going to want draft whenever you come out of pit road. Otherwise, any undercut is not going to pan out. Even then, though, like I said, there's only 7/10 of fall off, and you don't really see that until about the last quarter of the run. It's about the last 4 to 5 laps.
And you really start to feel it, yeah. And I'm sure the setup is going to play a big part in that. If you've got a more snug setup that you feel like you can hold on to more in the short run, it's going to start plowing by the end of it. Whereas if you're running something a little looser, which is probably what these front two are doing, knowing and racing with them long enough that they tend to really love to kick the rear end out. Especially KJ, man, he always runs something that he can. I'm surprised he's able to hold on to them. But yeah, in the long run, at tracks like this, that will pay many, many dividends. But that draft is definitely playing a big factor here already. We've seen KJ get up to the bumper of the 029, or yeah, Mac Daddy get up to the bumper. Everyone else sticking with them. Terry Scott in third there. Nelly, Brain Fade, and Eli all up here in this draft. Magoo's just kind of lurking back there. Still with them though. Still definitely getting the draft and running some pretty quick laps. Monty Keller on his own. And for a comparison with the lap times we were just talking about, yeah, he's about half a second per lap off the pace compared to these guys. So definitely enough to make a difference. And yeah, if you've got that NR knowledge and knowledge of just how to be able to tune for this kind of thing and knowing what your limits are, you're going to be in pretty good shape. That's why KJ and Mac Daddy are out front here. And that's also why Zach is an absolute bundle of knowledge, and that is why we are very grateful to have him up here.
Thank you, Andrew. And you talk about how KJ and Mac Daddy, they like to really run it loose on the right rear. KJ was the person who really introduced me to open setups because KJ and Silver Bullet, came over to run Seth Cole's Icebreaker series back in 2018. It was a season. Oh, I shouldn't get it
7.
mixed up because I won the championship that season. It was season 7, yeah. And it ended up
Ooh.
being myself, KJ, Silver
Uh-oh.
Bullet, and Patrick Schaefer all on the same team. As it looks like we have a problem. And
Something
I think
is
Brain Fade's lost the engine.
wrong with the 49.
Actually, I'm not sure. He might
Still
have lost the
running.
controller input. It's still running, yeah.
That's strange though, because he's definitely still steering the thing, but and it's running, but it's under no power. So I don't know if he lost the pedal or
Oh, I
what's
think he
going on.
got it.
Whoop!
Yeah, he's back running. I think maybe a controller disconnect.
I've been there before. Let's see. Yep, getting back on track there. So yeah, some kind of probably a technical gremlin there for the 049.
So back to KJ though. Those were the first setups I was introduced to, and that was a CTS setup series. So KJ was very cool with sharing his setups, and I'll give it to him. Any of the times that he was up front and he hadn't damaged himself, I could not get by him. We had a great race at Lime Rock where I think we got side by side once or twice, but I just could not get by him. I think the one race I got a little lucky at was Watkins Glen. But so KJ is who introduced me to open setup, and it really got me interested. And then, of course, I think around the end of that year, if not around 2019, is when Ricky J got me over here the first time. When it was still one big umbrella, before the split, as we call it. Won't go any further into detail there. But so that's like the second getting into it was Ricky J. But so I know from that icebreaker season how far KJ will go to put the weight on that right rear. And from experience, I have found that with my settings, I have to move the weight forward about a click or two and make a few other adjustments. Otherwise, I cannot hang it. I'm a little little too more aggressive at the beginning of the run. KJ's very patient, so he can make it work at the entire run. Where I would probably self spin after 5 laps.
I'd be self spinning on the first corner probably if I was running his set. But hey, he's showing And he's got the speed. He's trying to break the draft on Mac Daddy, who is having none of that. He's sticking with the draft. Now these two are starting to pull away from those other guys. Terry Scott, though, still doing fantastic up here in the podium position, along with Nelly being really close to him there. Eli doing a good job here with some good speed there in the 114. Magoo's still kind of lurking there with them. And yeah, Monty Keller and Brain Fade after his little technical gremlin there has cost himself the draft. But now starting lap 10 of 56. History tends to point toward about a 20-ish lap fuel run here, being a 2.5 mile track, but you are off the throttle a good bit more than you are at a plate track. So I'm sure that they'll be able to probably get an extra lap or two compared to what we're used to at those super speedways,
I
which usually is
believe
about 19.
I believe it's gonna be 18 or 19.
Think it'll still be about that?
Oh, and it's CTS, so yeah.
That's fair, yeah. You get a lot of fall off with this. As hey, just to prove that these guys got it dialed in. Just that previous lap, despite just being about halfway through this run, Mac Daddy ran his personal best of the race so far, 51.2. So these guys still got plenty of speed in those things. Although just like that, Terry Scott has now done the same thing himself and ran a personal best as well and actually closed the gap. So yeah, as you were saying, I mean, tire wear isn't all that huge, but enough that it'll probably start to show as far as the handling goes, but maybe not so much the overall lap speed. That seems to be the trend here so far from what we're seeing.
Yeah, I actually got my numbers mixed up earlier, so I was running
Oh.
52 zeros on my own. The draft laps are in the 51s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this is about in the run where you're going to start to see just a teeny amount of fall off, and it'll just slowly creep up on you. So, from KJ's best of a 51.2, I would expect him to be running
Oh.
nines maybe by the end of the run, and a bit of a strategic move there by KJ. Mac Daddy's his teammate. They both want to be able to make it together as long as they can. So you're halfway through the run. KJ's been leading this whole time. He's been burning up more gas. So now, strategic move here, get behind your teammate. Now you can lift off the throttle a little bit, save some gas in the draft, and we could see both of these guys make it 18 laps for sure. And if they're looking to stretch at 19, if you do stretch at 19 in the trucks, you want to have a draft partner when you come out, as we mentioned. So if they can stretch at 19, they can get away with one more pit stop after this upcoming pit stop, and then they won't have to worry about pitting for a splash with 3 to go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's with 56 laps, that's going to be cutting it a little bit close as far as the two stop goes. I do have that little bit of a courteous move there from KJ that we saw, and that puts Mac Daddy out front. KJ now second, but Terry Scott and Nelly still lurking in the wings there, still hanging with them. Eli has unfortunately lost the draft and is now running by himself. Magoo not far behind. Everyone else just kind of running their own pace as it stands. 13 laps complete, going to 14 here. I think we'll take this little opportunity to mention that next week we've got a grand slam of racing to bring you guys here. We're going to be starting our broadcast with the Hobo Racing League. Credit to actually our boy Keith McLean here for kind of getting the ball rolling with that. We'll be bringing you guys their truck series on Sunday night, and then Cup series on Tuesday. Both of those will be from Atlanta. Cup will be open set, trucks will be fixed, and it's the old, I should say, it's the old trucks, but it's the new mod. It's the 65 trucks mod. So that'll be a little something different for everybody. And then we'll be back for 2 more races here at BSR next week. Talladega for both Wednesday for the trucks and Thursday for the Cup Series. So 4 streams all coming at you here, and I'm certainly excited, but that's also going to be a lot of racing to do. So yeah, but we got a lot of cool stuff to bring you guys, and again, I can't thank BSR and Hobo enough for entrusting me with this. Of course, Josh Mercurio from the NSCRA and Michael Norman for helping to get that ball rolling. I mean, I haven't really been doing these streams as seriously since a couple seasons of doing IMRC full time. That was a few years ago, and even that was just kind of just trying something different. And now that I've kind of gotten, well, I guess maybe a little bit more refined, at least with the commentary side of things. We're still refining, of course, the quality and the overlays and just getting everything a little more polished and looking a little better. We're playing with some graphic settings. We hopefully have permanently fixed the freaking desktop audio issue that Zach kept sounding like there were two of him in the same room. But yeah, I'm hoping that that's all been resolved, and also hoping that we um, continue to improve the quality of this stuff so that we can get you guys better and better quality footage. So thank to everyone who's helped me out thus far along the way and who's been willing to help out. Zach, of course, thank you to you for all your help so far, and it's been good stuff so far. And I'm looking forward for these next several um, weeks, at least through March. We're going to have a pretty busy March for these broadcasts. Beyond that is we'll wait and keep everybody posted. But speaking of posted, I'm sure we'll be seeing some posting here soon as far as who's going to be pitting when. But as we predicted, these top two getting away. Terry Scott and Nelly have now fallen off of them. So now they may have to try to find another strategy here to try to make it work. But hey, it's as we said, these two were the favorites, and now they are looking to juke it out. The one final thing I will have to point out, though, these two are teammates, and yet they are different manufacturers. Fancy that.
Yeah, we should see pit stops maybe this lap for some drivers. I'd like to just to cover it here. As you can see, you know, KJ and Mac Daddy have pulled away from Terry and Nelly. I ran this truck race 2 seasons ago as Indy was at the end of the 2023 season. I was able to keep up with these two for most of the run. And then like I said, I would just slowly get the right front a tiny bit too tight, too wore out, which is easy to do when you're in draft. You know, it's easier to heat the tire up in draft when you're at a flat track such as this. And that would let KJ and Mac Daddy go by, and I would be able to keep up, but it would just be so hard to get by them, as it looks like they're both going to come in here this time by.
Here they are, getting her down to
Ooh,
55, I believe.
Terry and Nelly are going to stay out. Yep, 55. Eli and Magoo are going to stay out as well.
Ooh, that's actually kind of interesting from a strategy standpoint. Because if this is as far as KJ and Mac Daddy can go,
Well, they were leading for the most part. You see Monty, who was by himself the whole run because of his lap one save. He has to pit this time by as well. We'll likely see Brain Fade in too. But so Terry,
ooh,
Nelly, Eli, and Magoo were in draft for a majority of the run, so they were getting the most off throttle time going into the corners. Thus, they are able to get this one more lap. So we'll see how this lets the race play out as it continues. As
KJ's
Terry's
just
in,
gonna stay ahead.
Nelly's going to go another one. Wow.
Actually, KJ's gonna let Mac Daddy by, or look at them leaning on that side of the truck. But yeah, that's big for Nelly though, because that means he's gonna be able to go much, much further, and make this
Eli stayed
two-stop
out.
strategy a little easier. And yeah, Eli out there too. Oh, we got a crash, and it's Mac Daddy.
Oh, that changed everything.
That has changed everything indeed. Is that a yellow flag? I have to assume it is, and indeed
Yes.
so.
Well, you know, the most treacherous thing at this track is actually the apron.
Yeah.
The apron here is, you know, you're on the coldest, you come out with fresh cold tires, and and it's easy to forget how sketchy it can become. Mac Daddy actually came out in front of KJ, and Mac Daddy actually gets loose and drives up the track first, and then KJ actually spins it himself, and then they hit right at the exit of turn two.
Let's have a look here. Well, that's not
So
a good angle at all.
that's what you don't want to do as teammates.
No. Yeah, it looks like they both had their own moments. So Mac Daddy coming off there starts to get loose, catches it, goes way up the track, and KJ's already spinning on his own, and then they both kind of have a little head-on collision there. Wow.
That's what happens to when you try to push that little extra 2 to 3 miles an hour through that turn two apron, and the truck just gets so light because it's there's no banking down there, so you get really really light in the rear end, and it'll just start to drift on you. So you have to be really smooth, really cautious, and they were just pushing for everything there. Mac Daddy caught it, but he would have gotten a black flag for merging too soon. KJ would have just, I think, burned his tires up a little bit. He would have been okay, but I think the caution might have come out anyway for KJ spinning up in front of Mac Daddy. So this is going to jumble up the running order. Eli and Nelly both, they had not pit yet, so they're going to be in a really nice position here.
Mm-hmm.
And KJ and Mac Daddy are both a lap down, and they were involved. So I'm not sure if one of them gets the free pass here and one can still take a wave round. I'm not sure how it works. I haven't seen a situation like this in a long time.
I don't think they're going to be free pass eligible. Wave around maybe, but that's also incredibly sketchy because both of them now are going to have tires that are not going to be ideal. Mac Daddy's going to have damage.
I think
A little more for him than KJ probably.
I think Mac Daddy's tires will be okay. KJ I don't think will be too bad. The tires do not wear as much here in the trucks as they would in Cup. They won't be looking good, but they do have really good pace, so we'll have to see what the idea is here.
Yeah.
But to go back to the point I think I was making there in pre-race, both of these guys are really fast if they can keep it under them.
Mm-hmm.
And right there you saw that sometimes, because of how loose their trucks are, just kind of goes away from them that little bit, and that opens the door for the rest of the competition to capitalize.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if they are going to end up trapped a lap down here. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if they end up pitting this time or not. Should also mention this is the original game track, so no real funny business as far as like anything different with the grip settings or tire wear being different. So yeah, just everything's stock here, and I definitely see some side damage on Mac Daddy's truck there, which, well, it's not going to hinder him severely. If he doesn't repair that, they probably could lose a couple of miles an hour on the straightaway. And in my experience, Zach, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but at least from what I've felt, usually once you get that much side damage, I feel like it tends to get tighter in the
Yes.
corners.
Yes, it does. Anytime you get door damage, especially here in CTS, it gets tighter. It looks like both of these guys are just going to come in and pit.
They're gonna,
Probably the way to go, and just kind of race their own race and hope maybe they can get another yellow later. And to speak to that point, I'm glad we have as detailed the standings as we do here for not just the Cup Series, but for the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. Mac Daddy through 9 races has only finished 3 races, and KJ has only finished 11 of his 15. And that what we just saw is why.
yeah, that's the risk that you take for long run speed. But then coming off of pit road there on the flat, as you said, when you're running it that loose, whoa.
What is going on with? I think Mac Daddy had tires unchecked, and he was trying to get tires. I think he's gonna have to go around again.
Oh, yeah, I think he's going to have to come back, and I thought he was about to ram right into Terry Scott. But
The lights are still on.
which is probably good for him, honestly, because then he can come back and get that
See if we
resolved.
maybe can't get an interview with someone. How you feel about maybe talking to Brain Fade if he's up for it?
Yeah, I think so. If you just want to post in chat and see if we get his approval. 22 of 56 laps here so far. Too busy laughing at Keith spinning, says KJ. So you spun out just out of pure like, oh my god, did he just do that? I see. Well, now you both are going to be on the you're both are going to be on the back foot here. But hey, it's just going to make it even more. Just going to put on a show for us, that's for sure. I know some of these guys are going to be putting on a show here because it appears if he doesn't pit this time, Monty Keller is now up here in the race lead. Looks like that will indeed be the case. Nelly's actually coming back down pit road. Probably going to top off with fuel. Play it safe. Eli's staying out. Boy, everybody else is pitted here. That's interesting.
Not getting any response here. I'm not sure if my message was seen in the chat. The lights are off, so Monty's gonna go around for way around. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, free pass. I was not aware that he was a lap down, but that actually makes sense considering the fact that he pitted on the same lap as KJ and Keith. So that will be Monty Keller back on the lead lap, and that will give the lead to Eli.
Nelly
Followed
off
by
pit road.
Yep, Nelly, Brain Fade, Terry Scott.
Gonna put Brain right back in the thick of this thing.
Both KJ and Mac Daddy going to be a lap down still. They've got some work to do.
You know, I like the mods they run here at Bomb Squad. You know, they run the Project Wildfire CTS mod here tonight. They run Gen 6 BR on Thursday nights. And then I'm not sure if they are using the newer NXS20 or not, but I know when they ran CTS physics for Xfinity, they ran NXS 15, which 15, 17, and 20, they're all more or less the same. It's just a few template updates and whatnot. The like bodying and damage are all more or less the same.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I think it would be really cool if there were more leagues out there that ran some of the lesser used mods, like as like a premier series. You know, I don't see that there's one or two leagues I know of that use Aero 88. I don't really see a lot of people use Cup 90 anymore. Cup 90 is a really good mod, and you know, you've also got great mods out there such as Winston Cup 98, and of course the Cup 03 mods that Cosman did as like a redo of the original Cup mod. So, you know, it'd be cool if some more leagues maybe considered switching to those mods and giving those mods some love for a few years.
Yeah, whoa, Magoo getting caught up there and almost getting into some trouble. But coming back to green here. But no, yeah, I'm definitely with you. So we're back underway. But I'm definitely with you. That is really cool to see if some different mods get used. I do remember running a Winston 98 in Fuel Super Speedway Series several years ago. And then when I think the Cup 03 to 05 mods came out, I want to say they used 05 for a bit for that one. And fun fact, the Top Dragster Open, which I have mentioned a couple times over on AG's channel. Go subscribe to that channel. But I am also for that one using Cup 05. Even though it's offline, it's still I think showing some well-deserved love for a mod that was worked really hard on. So, yep, definitely cool to see whenever some lesser-known mods get used. I especially enjoy seeing the occasional COT mod get used. Like when NSCRA was doing their Daytona 500 there for a couple years, they actually were running that mod. So that was something pretty different, but really, really neat at the same time.
Yeah, Andrew. So it looks like Monty stayed out to get a wave around, and KJ was indeed the free pass. So only Mac Daddy remains a lap down here.
Okay, gotcha. So Monty on the lead lap, KJ on the lead lap with the free pass, and working his way forward up to P5 as it stands. And trying to bring KJ, or excuse me, Mac. I keep doing that. You gotta keep Mac Daddy with him. But of course, Mac Daddy being a lap down. But credit to Eli here. He is doing a great job. With 30 laps to go here now. Doing a fantastic job of holding on to this lead. Nelly has been keeping right with him.
Oh
But so,
no.
oh, I had to say it, didn't I? Here they go. Don't. Oh, he's flipping.
1, 2, maybe 1.5.
Oh, that's a break dance, and that is not what you want. And that truck is a little tore up now.
And Nelly
And gets the
involved.
tow.
You know, I didn't say it out loud, but I did think it. I thought to myself, hey, they made it through the first lap with no problems. They made it through the second lap with no problems. Oh, there's the problem.
Oh, man.
So, see, even if you don't say it, if you think you're still jinxing them. Sorry, Eli.
Yeah.
I jinxed you. I just didn't say it.
I mean, no, I said it.
Oh, you said it.
I'm the one that said it. I think he just retired. Yeah, he's not out there. Yep, that is
And that
leader
thing
to
flipped.
wrecker.
That thing had roof damage. He got hit hard there by Nelly.
Ooh, oy, oy, oy.
Brain fade with some great avoidance there. Same with Terry, and Nelly did a great job getting it back together. He only really did one slow spin, and he had it back planted straight.
That's
Well,
the risk you take.
that'll put Mac Daddy back on the lead lap. And yeah, that's the risk you take. And you also got to figure Eli hadn't been in clean air the whole night. So, when you run in dirty air here in the trucks, you get used to how your truck feels in the draft. So,
Mm-hmm.
a truck runs way different in the draft at a track like this than it would when you're leading. So, if you're not ready for it, or maybe just didn't practice clean air enough with someone behind you, when you get that air packed on the back of the spoiler here in these things, it can get really light on corner exit. And it looked like Eli just wasn't ready for it to put him in that situation.
Eli said, "So sad there in the chat." And yeah, I can agree on that. They were having a good run there, dude. Actually, is he still up there?
Yeah, Eli, if you'd like, we'd love to have a word with you if you're open for it.
Yeah, it'd
Feel
be
free to
pretty
drop
neat.
down for a quick word if you'd like.
His brain fade inherited the lead there. Is going to bring it down pit road. And he just said, yeah. So let's go ahead and get Eli in here.
User was moved to your
A
channel.
quick little check in with Eli from taking the lead to out of the race there, but it seemed like that 114 was pretty fast. You were keeping up there pretty good, and once you got that track position, you were doing good up there. Just get loose on you, I'm guessing, with the clean air.
Yeah, I just got going a little too much on myself, trying to keep the lead a little bit and panicking because them guys are usually faster than me and overdriven a little bit.
Anyway, I know the feeling. Especially knowing once KJ's back on the lead lap that he's going to be coming up there and sniffing that lead at some point or another. But man, it seemed like those two were just like just the class and trying to get ahead there. I will just ask though, at least prior to that caution, were you looking good for the two stopper?
Yeah, I was basically had one more and that was it because you're getting about 19 laps, so it was close to it.
I got you. Yeah, Zach, you got anything for him?
No, I think you covered it all, Andrew. Tough break there for you, Eli. You're looking good.
Hey, I'm getting better at this asphalt stuff. Me and Nelly and Furco and Brain are kind of more. I think we're more dirt guys, but them guys are a lot better at asphalt. We're getting there though.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'd say you showed some pretty good speed tonight. I guess while we have you up here, any shout outs you want to give?
I just did Magoo and Brian and Kathy and all the guys that put this stuff on. It's fun to do. A little bored these days.
I get you. Hey, we'll be seeing you, of course, next week at Talladega, I hope. Best of luck for that one. And
Oh yeah.
going forward, we'll be seeing plenty of you.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, you betcha. These are
User was
Eli.
moved out of
Driver of the
your channel.
114 will unfortunately finish 8th out of 8 tonight. But with a few laps left in there. So
And silver lining, it's a top 10.
it is a top 10. Top
That'll be
10s for
actually
everybody.
that'll be his 5th top 10 in 8 races. Yeah, it is top 10s for everybody, but it's still a nice top 10.
Oh, yeah. It's a top 10 anytime. That's always going to be good. Someone that this is going to help tremendously, though, is Mac Daddy. He is going to get back on the lead lap with the free pass this time by.
I think he's got a run for something.
I think I know what that might be. He'll be back in time.
Well, I forget if he drinks. I think it's natty ice, or I don't know if he's been dipping into the hard liquor.
Ooh,
But
I don't know. The
Mac
guy loves
Daddy.
his beer. I know that.
Mac Daddy loves his alcohol. It ain't just beer. It everything.
And everything.
We'll know for sure here. If he pulls out of pit road after KJ leaves and Magoo leaves, we'll know if he's really had to run.
I bet you he had to run.
I think he had to run because
Oh yeah, he's still there. Even Magoo's like,
oh no,
you
there
good?
he goes.
There we go.
Either it was a quickie or he didn't really have to run that.
Neither of them want the lead. or
Bush
want
Ice
to...
and 100 proof. Yeah, that sounds right. I thought it was Natty Ice for some reason, but yeah, Bush Ice. You're right.
That's how he's so fast. Is that he gets drunk before these races.
No, well, so you get a decent buzz and you're fast, but then you get drunk and you just wreck.
For some reason,
that's Mac Daddy's Achilles heel is. It's not really him, but if the race takes too long, he just ends up wrecking because he gets drunk.
he's gotta hit the bathroom. I'm telling you that stuff goes right through you. If and that says the guy who
I remember
hardly ever drank ever.
I remember a race a few years ago at Pocono. I think we were running Cup, and we had a few yellows. And I think I remember this was back when he mainly drank Bush Ice. If he got past a 12-pack, it was a matter of time for him to wreck it. That was what I remember. If you heard, yeah, I'm at 13, 14 beers over here, I'm like, all right, he's going to bin it here in a minute.
And it's for the better because then he'd be like, all right, well, there I just wrecked out. All right, I got to go pee.
That was the trend. Usually you knew he got halfway through the 12-pack. All right, got to run to the bathroom. Get through the rest of the 12-pack. Might have to run to the bathroom again. And then, anymore. And he's about to just lose control.
Don't drink and race, kids. But hey, these guys just having a good time with it. And Mac Daddy, he's bad fast, but he's bad fast with down in those bushes. Let me tell you what.
KJ will drink sometimes. I don't remember exactly what KJ drinks, and I know Silver Bullet likes drinking Coors Light during races.
Oh yeah, it's a sponsor.
Mac Daddy's the one is having a good time.
I swear that there was actually one of those Icebreakers races that you ran I swear you said that you were pretty drunk and it was Talladega. I don't remember you having any problems though.
I actually I remember there was one time when I came out here to run trucks a few years ago, and I was experimenting with edibles at the time, and I had a little too much edibles, and I was like, yeah, I'm not getting on track. I couldn't even keep my eyes open.
Man, you should have gone on track. That would have been hilarious.
No, I don't think Ricky J was happy with me either. He was like, man, you really had to go and get high as heck, huh? And I was like, hey, man, I'm just having a good time. I passed out, I think 30 minutes after the race started.
I could just picture you just during the serve be like, Ricky J, what's up, man?
Yeah, right. But I did run another league once, and I was a lightweight back in the day. I did run a road course once, and I was drunk on Crown Royal, and I remember I was actually doing pretty good, and then I just choked on the tiniest amount of saliva, started coughing, and crashed.
Oh, well, that's a lesson, everybody.
A
Don't drink and race.
little caution story time about drinking and getting high while racing on good old NR2003.
Well, hey, it was last Thursday when it was just all metal and electric callboy and.
Now we're talking about alcohol and marijuana. Nelly leads us back to green.
It sounds like a good time to me, as we're back to green flag racing here with 25 laps to go, still a pit stop to go, and yep, it is Nelly out front here, followed by Terry Scott, followed by Brain Fade, and then followed by Monty Keller, with a little bit of a slide there, but they're gonna keep it straight. Watch out though, KJ. Ooh, Monty, hold on to it into the wall. Motorola 28 is gonna slip back here. Magoo's gonna go by him.
See, Monty's favorite pastime is wrecking KJ, and he gave him a little scare. He was like, oh, I could have lost it a little bit there off a turn 2 wall, but I kept it straight for you, KJ.
I thought that everyone's favorite pastime in this league was wrecking Nelly because well, I can't say the exact term,
for the
but
most part, yes. But Monty enjoys wrecking KJ.
I mean, who doesn't?
I mean,
Love you, KJ.
I used to feel like I had magnets on my cars whenever I was next to KJ.
Oh, Terry up the track.
Ooh, don't hit that wall.
Boy. I was able to hold on to it. Did not hit the wall, but hey, look at this now, though, from what you were saying. 1 and 2 in the championship, now 1 and 2 in the race. Look at that.
Yeah, this has been quite the nice topsy-turvy race. I believe everyone has to make just one more pit stop at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had 25 laps to go at the restart. So yeah, now we definitely got another pit stop to make here, but everyone should be able to make it pretty easily. That would probably put you about 6-7 to go if you run it out. So I guess the question for that I'll pose to you, should this thing go green, and with the tire wear kind of being what it is, could 2 tires be a viable strategy, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. You just want to... The problem is if you come out with 2 tires and you're solo 2 tires, depending if it's 9 or 10 to go, you're going to be a sitting duck if you take 2. But if it's 7, 8 to go and you take 2, you should be okay. But ideally, if you take 2, you're going to want somebody else to take 2 with you, so then you can draft and you can minimize the time loss. Because if everyone else gets in draft, they're gonna eat you up about 8/10 a lap.
Oh yeah, it's because then not only will you be without draft, but you'll be slightly on the back foot as far as the grip goes. So. I don't know. It could go either way. I've seen it done both ways at tracks like this or Atlanta. So, I don't know. We'll see if this thing goes green. We'll see what the call is going to end up being. Nelly, though, looking pretty comfortable out front there in the 103.
We'll say the stream looks a lot better with that world quality change.
That's good to know. And we've had a couple of little lag spikes here and there, but so far so good. Yeah, I can do this and no one's gonna see it. So I can do this and no one's gonna know. But yeah, we're holding steady about 50-60 frames in game. So I think good. So far so good.
So name of the game right now is trying to keep KJ and Mac Daddy out of the lead, because if they get to the top 2, they are going to just drive away again like the last run. They were tracking about, I think. They were 3 to 4 seconds ahead of Nelly and Terry when the cycle began.
Yeah. Although, yeah, this is the most dirty air that they've had pretty much all race long, so I'm sure that will definitely play into kind of how these things are going to be driving. KJ has been wiggling quite a bit.
They actually tend to like that. I know KJ especially tends to like being in dirty air for the first half of the run, because then he knows once he gets in clean air, he don't really have to worry as much of it maybe stepping out on him and him crashing, because he's burned the right front that tiny extra bit from the dirty air. See Nelly really running a high arc off of turn 1.
There's Matt's in chat. Good to see you, man. Saying he just got home. Yeah, sorry we couldn't have you out on track, man. But hey, just sit back and enjoy seeing it from this point of view, perhaps. As KJ did get by Terry Scott there, I think Terry kind of gave him a little bit of courtesy there. Boy, I had to say anything about the lag spikes, didn't I? Brain Fade was a good pusher there for Nelly. Was able to give him a little bit of a lead there. I'm sure those two, as you said, are probably thinking like, oh boy, we got KJ in third now. Let's just try to hold on to this as long as we can. 20 to go now, 19 to go. Up here in this deal. I don't know if I said that. But yeah.
Monty Keller struggling just a tiny bit. He's about to lose touch with Magoo. It looks like he's okay though.
He just ran his personal best there, 51.210.
Reeled him back in a little bit.
So I think that might be the fastest lap of the race. Let's find out here.
Eli has it.
Eli 175. One guy that's out of the race.
You knew that 114 was fast.
Hey, I was looking at him. I was thinking like, man, that Toyota is looking bad fast. And after what we saw from him at some of the super speedways, I think Mac Daddy may have just had an issue there. Actually, going to lose a spot to Magoo. I think may have almost lost the rear end there off of turn 4. Hipped it under him.
Actually, Andrew, it looks like he let him by.
Really?
Yeah, he just let him on by there.
That is interesting.
Well, trying to maybe save a little, maybe an extra lap of gas here and set up a strategy call here. And, the further back in line you get, I mean, they're at the back of the line. They're almost doing about 190 into the corner.
Are they thinking that they can make it? Because KJ just threw in the clutch hard in turn 3.
I don't think so, Andrew. I think this is about taking half a can less gas.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because right now what it could be, let me see when they went green.
There's 25 to go, so exactly.
They pit on 31 coming to, or 30 coming to 31. So that puts them at pitting around 6 to 7 to go. So if they can stretch it to 6 to go, I think they can get away with a half a can.
I think you're right.
I think they are trying to save that half a can so they can go from needing a can to half a can, and they might just not even take tires.
Yeah, or even if they do end up taking right sides, that's still going to end up saving time because, in my experience, if you take a full can and 2 tires, you're still going to sit there for about an extra second or two waiting for that full can to go in. Whereas maybe with half a can, that won't be the case. Ooh, Terry Scott, a little marginal. Getting a little tight. Very tight. Up into the gray. Keeps it off the wall.
Sorry, Andrew. Another thing I have noticed, too, is when you take 2... And this is maybe only true if you don't need the full can to fill it up max, or if you're only taking half a can. But if you take lefts only compared to rights only, you save about another second and a half. The problem is nobody does left sides only because taking right sides only is more beneficial.
Absolutely, yeah. I've never even tried lefts only. I don't even know what that would feel like.
It'll feel like the left side of the car is gripping the track and driving you through the corner, and then the right side of the car will feel really tight.
And that is like the last thing that you want.
So it's better to have the right side have the grip.
Whoa, no! And that's the yellow flag.
The strategy just went out the window.
Mac Daddy, solo spin. Once again.
Get it back going. There you
go.
Still in it. Get it back going.
15 to go. Racing back does not apply until 10 to go. Nelly will hold on to this race lead. I think the different strategies that we could see on this
Ooh.
pit stop could be interesting.
Looks like on Mac Daddy, he's making a move on Magoo here. Oh, and so he was pushing pretty hard there to get by Magoo and trying to keep it off of him with a good amount of space at the same time. And what happened is because of how much he was turning to the left as he came off the corner, it loaded all the weight up on the right side of the truck, and it just kind of got loose on him, and he just kind of overcorrected it there. But no damage, so can't be too upset with that one.
Never hit a single thing. So, yeah, I think a fresh set of tires and he should be in good shape. But yeah, he's gonna have some work to do as far as the track position goes. To try to get back up there. Lap 43 of 56. It's going to be 13 to go at the stripe this time. And I got to imagine that we're going to see everybody pit this time. It's just going to be a matter of 2, 4, how much gas you take. But at this point, everyone's going to be good to go to the end.
Yeah, there's
Nelly and
no
Brain Fade.
concerns about fuel here. So
Let's find out.
they're pitting here with 13, coming to 13 to go here. They could, in theory, potentially loosen up the vehicles a little bit, because they don't really need to fill it up all the way to make it to the end here. They only need 17 gallons worth, but I'm not sure if they're in a place where they can make it to where they'll only add enough to get to 17, 18 gallons. So they might just fill it up here and save the adjustments for a potential another yellow, where then they could come down, put 4 tires on it, and then if they'd like, KJ enjoys throwing the track bar up as high as he can without risking crashing.
Looks like it's 4 tires all around for all the takers here, and ooh man, there's a big advantage there with that first pit stall. KJ just beat them all off of pit road,
and that's game tracks for you. First pit stall is king because it clears you right there at that line. So KJ gets two positions there on pit road.
and if these two pit, unless Nelly stays out, or Monty Keller. Goodness, I am terrible with names tonight for some reason. I know that, of course, Keith is going to have to pit. But if Monty doesn't, then that could certainly make things a little interesting. But if he pits here, that will give KJ the race lead. And as per what you were saying, and I would have to agree with you on this, I don't think that's what the field was hoping for. At least from a competitive standpoint.
Yeah, I think Monty might just be trying to get his lady lap here. Looking at the standings, everybody has led laps this season with the exception of 3 drivers who have only made 1 start apiece. And Monty has led a good amount of laps so far this season. So yeah, he'll come down. He'll get to restart 6th. Mac Daddy will go to the tail there in 7th.
Yeah, Monty's always been a pretty good, consistent driver, so not too surprised to hear that he's led a good few laps. Let's see if we're going to get the one to go here. Don't think we have anyone a lap down. Nope, not yet. We're still going to be under this yellow flag, which, if my math serves me correctly, will mean that we will be 10 laps to go on the nose when we go green, which also means racing back to the yellow flag if we do get a caution within that stretch of time.
Yeah, which that's always fun, when you have to race back to the yellow. It kind of ups the intensity, especially if it looks like the race will end under yellow. Looking at some more laps led stats, Nelly with the high so far this season, 435 laps led out of 1,721 completed, which, by the way, Nelly, with the most laps completed, he has not finished every lap, though. He does have one finish a lap down. But otherwise, a really nice season for Nelly. 4 wins on the year with the 13 top 5s and 16 top 10s. And the 1 pole position average finish of a 3.6 so far. Brain Fade right behind him there with 1 win, 12 top 5s, 16 top 10s. And an average finish of a 4.3. Now, interesting to note, Brain only 22 points behind Nelly. Nelly has 435 laps, led Brain Fade only with 34. So, that just kind of shows you don't have to lead all the laps.
No, just kind of keep it consistent and
it is fun though.
Keep it going. But yeah, I
do
can
like
safely
leading
say
laps.
I do enjoy after a race being able to go to the lap standing or the finishing standings and seeing that laps led being even anything in the double digits is like, ooh, check that out.
Or if the race is long enough and it's a short track, you get triple digits.
Yeah. Well, I know that you're familiar with that. I'm not.
Oh, okay. Sometimes.
Short tracks are my Achilles heel. Oh, man. I am terrible at those. You put me on Texas, I'm pretty dangerous. You put me on a road course, I'm pretty dangerous. You put me on a short track, especially a flat one, I am going to not to be so hot. Then that is an understatement.
What's funny is I wasn't good on the flat tracks when I started, but they've become like probably my best type of oval.
I mean, Martinsville's still fun, especially an open setup. I have fun with it, but I am just not competitive at all.
I had fun with Martinsville last season until I got dumped by the 18.
Just throw Tyler under the bus there, didn't you?
Well, I dumped the back, but
not
intentionally.
I see. Unintentionally,
I was waiting.
I see.
I will admit, I was waiting for the perfect scenario to bring it up.
Oh boy, I'm sure that he'll appreciate that.
It's okay. We joke about it all the time now.
We love Tyler. It's in the same way that if Jovan was in this race, or excuse me, Ricky J, if he was in this race too, then we'd be like, oh, what the heck is he doing? You gotta have a little fun, We're all friends here. We're all good friends.
Speaking of Ricky J, he's made 3 starts this season. He's won 2 races.
That's a 66% winning percentage there. That's pretty stinking good.
Also, speaking of Tyler with 1 race, not a victory, but he still got a P4. I'm not sure where that would have been. Anyway, we're getting ready to go back green here, Andrew. 10 to go.
10 laps to go. Racing back officially. 10 laps to go. That doesn't sound like much, but a track like this where it's almost a minute a lap. This is not necessarily a sprint. These guys are going to have to try to keep it under them. See if anyone may have opted for maybe a little bit of extra tape. And we'll see if anyone's going to have anything for KJ here. Nelly's been pretty quick himself, so we'll see if he's going to be able to give him a run for his money. But we are back to green. 10 laps remaining here at the Brickyard. And a pretty even restart between the two. Ooh, sideways there is the 029. Not very surprising there. And now these guys are going to just try to get her file down and try to get this thing going here for these final 10 laps. But already, though, KJ, see you later.
I don't know if you could get away with adding tape here unless you're KJ in the race lead. You might have been able to add 5% if you are the leader, but gear ratio. So 10 laps might be a few laps too long as Mac Daddy's coming back into pit road.
Uh-oh. That is not good there. Apologies to everyone. Apparently my OBS briefly disconnected and has now reconnected, so if there was any buffering or a pause in the stream, I am so sorry. I don't know what that was, but it appears to have resolved itself, and thank goodness. That was strange.
I just saw that on my phone. It just kind of jumped from turn 3 to turn 4, so Yeah, no biggies there.
Yeah, didn't miss too much there, although Nelly really sent it there, trying to stay ahead of Brain Fade, and it's actually paying off. He is catching this 029.
He looks a little loose though. Oh boy, he
Hey,
was really playing with the throttle. It looked like maybe they're off of turn 3. He's really trying to get up to KJ. Want to just highlight Nelly really quickly. Tyler has told me that, Nelly has
oh,
gotten
oh,
really
oh.
good over the last year. Has found that little extra that he might have been missing, and Nelly is a big threat here every night of the week.
Nelly is, yeah, he's always competitive. I mean, we were saying that McDaddy and KJ were the favorites. Nelly, I would say, is probably the dark horse, but definitely can get it done. And he is on the tail of this 029. KJ taking a slightly defensive line, trying not to let Nelly get under him.
See these drivers, they're trying to get all of the arc they can. They're almost turning into the wall as they go into turn 3.
Yeah, probably hoping that they can keep it as flat out as they can in turns 2 and 4. A little jittery there is the 029 as he's going to try to break the draft. Nelly's going to go with him. And Brainfane and Magoo are still right there. How about Magoo and P4 here? Check that out.
Brain with a huge send into turn 1. Yeah, they're doing the old IndyCar drag, and they're down the straightaway.
Yeah, Nelly got up the track there a little bit in turn 1. That's going to give the advantage to KJ! Ho-ho!
Loose.
Oh, man. Wasn't sure if he was going to send that thing around, but thankfully no. But still, maybe a car length gain there by Nelly. And yeah, Nelly back in the draft. Just got to keep that thing under him. He's fast enough that he can try to keep with him, but sticking with him and catching is one thing. Passing's a whole different beast. And once again, breaking the draft. And now Brainfade's going to follow suit, snaking everybody down the straightaway here. And don't know what happened with Mac Daddy, but he is on an island on his own now.
Real quick update here, Andrew. Monty Keller by Terry Scott for 5th. Don't want to get that in there.
Whoa, Magoo with a lot of curb. Getting way down on the track there in turn 2. And we've got 6 laps to go. We're going to be 5 at the line this time by. And KJ's looking strong. Nelly, though, still giving him a heck of a run here, and I certainly would not count him out. Brainfade also doing a great job of sticking with them if he doesn't get tight, which looks like he's able to hold on to that Toyota. And Monty Keller sticking with Magoo.
Terry's fading away from this pack. Not sure if he just had a bad lap or if he's getting tight in the wrong direction there.
Oh my goodness, Monty Keller. Lap of the night with a 58.57. That is 0.2 ahead of the nearest fastest lap.
And in practice, the fastest lap was KJ with a 59.79. So that is hauling the mail.
Ooh, that was a bit of a send there for Nelly. You can tell that he really got it all there on entry. Had to check up a little bit in the middle. KJ's looking really good right now. We've got 4 to go here. And despite some adversity, back up here in the lead, that number 029 Wrangler machine. I almost said number Wrangler, which made no sense.
You sound tired tonight, Andrew. You're all over the place.
I am not. I am not having a good night. I don't know what's happening. All I know is this morning was particularly tough. Some mornings I'm a little better at getting up as early as I do, but this morning was kicking my butt, and I feel like tomorrow we're gonna need that Monster Energy. Rehab, by the way.
I passed right out last night. I was so tired from that race last night. I passed right out. I felt great this morning. But back to the race. We're coming to 3 to go. We'll see. KJ went down to try to break the draft, but nobody goes down. That might actually hurt him. Nelly's getting a bit of a push there from Brain, but not enough to really catch KJ down the straightaway.
No. It's I think it's gonna take quite a charge here now from Nelly. But he's been proven this run that he's able to stick with him, and credit to him for that. He's gonna follow him down this time. Boy, KJ's going the Tony Kanaan line there, if anyone remembers his final Indy 500. Coming to 2 laps to go this time around. Still, all the top 5 still right on top of each other pretty much. Gap separating them all. 1.1 seconds. And Magoo actually with a shot here at Brain Fade for P3. He looks like Brain Fade's going to get the draft here off of Nelly. He's going to be able to hold on to that. 2 laps to go, and now everyone's second on back is really starting to compress.
Come off of turn 2 here, really 3 more shots at this lead here for Nelly as Monty to the inside of Magoo will get back in line. Now Monty in the wall.
I don't know if that was a planned move or not there for Monty. Terry Scott has lost touch with this pack, but we were coming to the white flag. It's still a consistent gap between these two. Nelly may have closed just a bit. So not quite over yet, but KJ looking awfully strong.
AJ's just running a few mile/an-hour faster through the corner, so I think maybe he might have loosened his truck up a bit as they take the white flag. 1 more lap to go here at Indy. They'll head into turn 1. Great corner entry by KJ. Again, just faster through the corner than Nelly. Nelly's catching him on the straightaways, but KJ gains it right back on through the corners. He'll try to break the draft here again.
One more time there. Ooh, this is going to get interesting for third with Brain Fade trying to follow suit. Magoo's right on his tail.
We get into turn 3, Andrew will take over here. That's what I was trying to do there.
No, you're good. But through 3 and 4 for the final time here at the Brickyard. Looks like Brain Fade is going to hold on to that spot. And KJ, one of the favorites going into this thing, is going to end up winning it. Julian Wilson and the Wrangler 029 gets it done. Nelly second, and a side-by-side there, 4th P3. But it will be Brain Fade getting that position and a great finish. But Magoo with a great finish there in 4th place, and Monty Keller 5th. Terry Scott.
Julian?
Who's just... I don't know.
I know who Julian is, but I'm just wondering who Julian is. I just see KJ.
I just made that up.
Oh. I guess KJ's name isn't Julian. Anyway.
His name is Kilojoules. And he put a killer race down here tonight. Come on, that was a good one.
Yeah, we'll see if
Uh-oh.
see if he can burn them tires down here, if he's just gonna
Monty Keller and Terry's got there. There he goes, getting it down here off of turn 4. I know that he absolutely loves this track, and it shows. Despite a little bit of adversity, he had to get back on the lead lap after spinning out, coming off of pit road. Pretty much flawless ever since. And yeah, he is burning it down beautifully there.
showing him how it's done.
Showing him how it is done. He will kiss the bricks here tonight at Indianapolis. But is anyone really all that surprised? I wouldn't say so. It's KJ. It's Indianapolis. Those two go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, for sure.
I remember him hyping it up like, yeah, this is one of his favorite tracks. So, hey, he was able to put a licking down on this field here, even after going through some difficulties. And it didn't matter. He was able to get back up there to the front, and that is a race victory. And what did you say that was? I think number 5 on the season, at least for trucks. Or 6, it was something like that.
Sorry, I thought I unmuted my mic, but I guess I just muted it instead. That's his third one of the season.
That's win 3. Okay. So congrats to KJ on that one. We'll be getting our top 3 in here. We're going to start with Brain Fade here in just a moment. But just looking at the official results here, one final time, it will be KJ, Nelly, and Brain Fade, followed by Magoo, Bonnie Keller, Terry Scott. Mac Daddy, still not sure what brought him down pit road there. Oh, actually, I know why. I totally forgot about that. Eli will end up rounding out the field there, the only retiree of the race. But I just remembered that when you cause a second caution, you have to do a drive-through on the next lap around.
Oh,
I totally forgot about that rule.
I didn't know that. That must be something new. I don't remember that.
That is brand new this season. So I totally forgot about that. My apologies. But yeah, that's I think what brought him down there, and he was hoping for the yellow, didn't quite get it. Thank you, Magoo, for the kind remarks there. And yeah, almost a podium there for Magoo. Just needed another 300th or 400th rather, and that would have been his. But hey, instead it is Brain Fade who got that one, and we're going
User
to
was moved to your
get
channel.
him here. Brain Fade, do you copy?
I got you. How's it going, Andrew? Jack?
I'd say
Hey, how's it going?
going pretty good. We had a good time with that race, and I'm sure that you had a good time there in that final run. You had to hold off Magoo. You were battling with Nelly, and it nets you a P3 finish. It seemed like, especially at the in that final run, you found a lot of speed, but really you were doing pretty good as far as speed goes throughout that race. Kind of tell me what it was like from your perspective, how the truck was driving, and what it
Well,
was like those final 10 laps.
the truck was driving good. Just couldn't really do anything. Passing's really a problem here. Unless somebody makes a mistake, you really have a tough time getting by. So I pretty much wore my tires out in the first half of that last run, and then I was just trying to see if I could hold position at the end.
I'd say you did a good job of keeping up there. You nearly got that third place, but still, though, a great run for you. Zach, you got anything for Brain Fade?
Yeah, Brain, earlier in the race, it looked like you had some kind of problem. Was that a controller disconnect or some sort?
Yes, of sorts. I have a basically it's a wooden cradle that holds my pedals in position away from the wall, and I had an equipment failure and my pedals started sliding away from my feet, so it's kind of tough to drive when your pedals suddenly slide about a foot forward.
Ah, yes.
So I kind of limped along for a little bit trying to get my pedals where I could use them again, and I didn't actually get them fixed until that caution where I could actually dive under the desk and do some rearranging.
Well, it ended up paying off for you there. Gonna get a P3 with a bit of a lucky break there with the caution, but hey, at the end of the day, still a very, very fast truck that you had, and great race there with holding off Magoo, trying to get up to Nelly there. So very nicely done. Of course, whenever we bring you up here, closing thoughts and shout outs are always welcome. So the floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, well, first off, congrats to KJ won, right? KJ, yeah.
KJ, yep.
He was fast, and Nelly was consistent all night. Didn't make any big mistakes, so good on him. Just want to shout out to all the admins at BSR that for what they do and keeping this place going, and the Voiles for all their support all these years. Looking forward to watching the broadcast and see what you guys got to say up in the booth. So got that to do tomorrow. So cool, thanks.
Yeah, man. It's always a pleasure and a great run tonight. Looking forward to seeing you at Dega.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, man. And Brain Fade, third place finisher. Next up,
User was
just
moved out of
going
your
on down the
channel.
list here, we got Nelly.
User was moved to your
And
channel.
there's the man there. P2, BSR Nelly. Copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Right on. You had certainly gave KJ a run for his money there in that final 10-lap run. Gonna end up with just a little under half a second between you guys. But you got up to him there pretty close. He was breaking the draft. Yeah, you were looking pretty bad fast there. I would say definitely compared to KJ and Mac Daddy, you were probably right there with them on the speed chart. Kind of talk me through those final 10 laps and what it was like trying to really drive the wheels off that thing. That's what it looked like you were doing.
Oh, I had to. First, I had, what was it, turn 3 on that restart. Rain got underneath me. I really drove it down into the corner. Had to hold the position. But yeah, it was. I gave it all I could.
And yeah, everything was definitely left in that thing, and you were able to stick with them pretty well. Um, I guess the only other question that I have myself is earlier on when it was looking like we were debating on if a two-stop was going to be possible during the beginning of the race until the caution came out with KJ and Mac Daddy there. I think that you were able to stay out probably the longest. So I'm guessing that two-stopper was probably going to be pretty doable for you.
Yeah, it was. I could do that. Gonna do a 2-stop.
Gotcha. Zach, what you got?
Nelly, we saw after that first yellow, Eli take the lead, and then eventually, unfortunately, spun out there in front of you. Any significant damage to the truck from that? And how'd you pull off that nice little 360 there and get it back going?
I got lucky there. I don't know how I caught it, but it didn't have too much damage. They pounded on a little bit, but what was it, a 15.2 second pit stop? So it wasn't that bad.
Didn't feel
yeah.
like maybe that was preventing you from getting to KJ there at the end or not?
Oh, he's just that little bit faster than I am.
Yeah, he
Even
was,
under
he was the
practice,
man.
he was about that far ahead of me. Yeah, him and Keith.
Yeah, we were looking at those two being the favorites. They maybe gave the field a little bit of hope when they wrecked, but I'm just playing, man. You had a lot of speed there yourself, and did fantastic. Going to get that thing P2 and extend that championship lead a little bit. So congrats there. Of course, closing thoughts and shout outs. Really, whatever you want to say, man. You can have at it.
I thank Brian and Kathy. Thank Magoo for starting it all. Thank you guys for putting it on. Thank for all the other drivers, and thanks for everybody watching. And thanks to my sponsor, Medicine Chest.
Yeah, man. Great job tonight. We'll be seeing you for Trucks and Cup at Talladega. Best of luck then.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man. As Nelly, 103,
User was moved out of
finish
your
in
channel.
second place. I think that leaves only the race winner,
User was moved to your
and
channel.
there he is. KJ, do you copy?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this dirty brick taste out of my mouth here.
Dirty brick.
The bricks, man.
Oh man, hey, that's the best taste right there, because that means you got the win. Gotta love that
Yeah.
one.
Hey, I'll take, especially after what happened earlier. I'll definitely take it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I was saying you and Mac Daddy were gonna be the favorites coming into this thing. Even though you guys both had that foible coming off of pit road, it seemed like it hardly held you back. Even when you were in traffic, that thing was looking pretty well planted. It was only maybe once you got to clean air that thing looked a little more wobbly. But all in all, that thing was bad fast. I guess just wanted to ask you kind of the difference between the dirty air and the clean air and how that truck was driving and trying to hold off Nelly in that final 10 laps, how that must have been like.
Yeah. Before I get started, are we keeping it PG here, Andrew, or how we doing?
Preferably, yes, please.
Okay. I'll watch what I say then. No, we're coming off the road, and I told Keith, I said, we got such a huge lead, man. Let's just take it easy, enter exit, and if we lose some of that time, we're still good. And we got the turn 2, and I seen him just hook it hard to the right. I started busting out laughing. I thought he was going to let me done, and I caught the grass a little bit, and he got me loose. I just spun around. I didn't get any damage out of that, so I got a little luck there. But with these fast, basically flat track, the car gets so tight and dirty here, you have to make it where you can actually turn behind people. And one of the downsides of that is if you get out in clean air early, it's almost undrivable. That was some of the problem I was having tonight. That first run, when I pulled over to let Keith go, I told him, dude, I can't take it no more. I'm about to wreck this thing. And I heard y'all talking about setups and tire temps and all that stuff a while ago. I was running like a 220 right front, 270 something right rear. The first 10 laps of that run.
Wow.
In
Was hanging on to it,
CTS?
waiting on it. And it finally came in when I got behind Keith. It tightened up just enough. I had enough right front burn on it to settle it, center exit, where I could just kind of take off. But that's one of the things you kind of got to give and take. You got to kind of hedge your bets here. You're going to have a really good short run car at these type of tracks, or you're going to be really good on the tail end of the run. There really is no both. You can't have both because the way the draft works and the dirty air, you got to kind of set it up for one or the other. And I always like setting it up for the long run. I heard y'all mention that too. I'm kind of wild out of control for a little bit until it settles down.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, so I think it got a couple times there in the short run. But that's interesting though, because I was thinking if it may have been just like a fuel strategy thing, is what was why you guys had to swap positions. But no, that's interesting that it was actually just trying to get that rear settled down. 270. My goodness,
Yeah.
that's a little toasty.
Not to jump on what you said, but I forgot the Nelly question. I knew the Nelly was pretty fast. And I knew that last restart I had to get away from him. So I didn't put all the fuel I could in the car to kind of tighten it up. And it was getting a little too tight. So I was trying to pitch it sideways off turn 4 every couple of laps, just trying to keep heat in the right rear. That way it would turn. It was still getting too tight, but I had the clean air and I could kind of control the race at that point.
That's interesting. And I'm glad you mentioned that because yeah, I wouldn't have even thought of that. So yeah, you were able to hold him off beautifully there. Of course, breaking the draft was kind of cool to watch. But very nicely done, man, and a great win to you. Zach, if you got anything for KJ?
Well, so KJ pretty much covered it all, but I do have a question. Any chance we could see a salt scheme? I know you liked running that Morton salt car a lot at the end of last season in Cup, so I'm wondering if we might be able to get a truck.
I'd have to find somebody who would actually paint it. That's the problem. I got to get somebody who would actually paint it for me. But I'll run it. I got a weird messed up paint scheme I run here some nights too.
Yeah, the GameStop one. Yeah,
it didn't quite line up right. It's got like some weird marks on it, but I can bring the ACDC out next week.
All right.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. Yeah, of course, yeah, we'll be bringing both trucks and cup races here from Talladega next week. As I alluded to earlier in the stream, next week is going to be busy here on the channel. So we're looking forward to bringing you guys coverage of 2 Atlanta races with Hobo, 2 Talladega races here at BSR. That's going to be awesome. But enough of me self-promoting there. KJ, your closing thoughts and shout-outs. The floor is all yours, my friend. Like I said, though, keep it PG.
Oh, I will. I ain't drinking tonight, so we're good. No, I just want to say, Andrew, you wanted to get some more broadcasting in a minute. You jumped in both feet in the deep end, so good luck. It sounds like you're pretty booked for at least the next month. But no, thank you, Andrew, thank you, Zach. Here, Top Director, is that what we're going to call it? Top Director Broadcasting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, I was listening to it while racing tonight. It was some a lot of information, entertaining, not a dull moment. I wish it would have became a fuel race. That would have made it fun. We kind of messed up with that first caution. So, now I appreciate you guys doing tonight and the next several weeks, Andrew. Looking forward to a relationship here. Kind of doing Wednesdays. Broadcast races are always fun to race in and always fun to go back and watch and kind of see stuff you missed in a race or see different stuff you could do because everybody does stuff a little different and you can't see it on the track. You can see it when you go back and watch it again. So, thank you guys again for broadcasting tonight. Looking forward to seeing y'all. I might be here tomorrow night. Depends on what the weather is. But looking forward to seeing y'all next week. Thanks to all the admins here at Bomb Squad Racing for each and everything they do each week. If anybody wants to come run trucks with us, more than welcome to join on Wednesdays. trial run with us. If you need setups, we can kind of get you in that direction or help you out with that. Trucks are fun, a lot of draft, a lot of strategy trucks. But no, that's pretty much it. My wife was watching. I got the congrats, so I want to say hey to my wife. Appreciate her watching and supporting me for doing this, because if I don't, she'll yell at me. But no, that's pretty much all I got.
Hey, I get you, man. I guess just before I let you go, you did just pose one more question for me, then I'll let you go. Were you trying to actually make it to the end on the with what that was like 25 laps to go? Were you actually trying to make it?
No, I was trying to get it to 4 laps. If I could do the 4 laps, I could do half a can, no problem.
Yep.
I almost got it there when Keith spun. I was clutching. Any chance I could, I would clutch turn 1 all the way through the corner or turn 3, just trying to save a little bit. If I couldn't make it, it would save me some time on the pit stop in case I had a bad pit stop. So, like I said, you're always thinking strategy in trucks. It's never really the fastest truck. You go out there and lead every lap. It's something different circumstances than a cup car with trucks, because the draft is so strong. So you're always strategizing and you're always looking towards the end of the race, and any advantage you can gain, you take it if you can get it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yep, that's kind of what we were thinking you were trying to do. But yeah, man, congrats, great win, and yeah, I'm with you. Looking forward to seeing what these next several weeks of racing will bring for the trucks. And hey, fingers crossed if we're able to see you for any of the cup races that we're doing. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you. I've had a bad season so far for my standards, so I'll take the win. We'll see what we can build off that, because next week's my nemesis, so we'll see what happens.
Best of luck, and 3 wins. Oh no, bad season. I'm just playing. Great job, man, and yeah, we'll see you at Dega.
I appreciate it, folks.
Right on.
User was moved out of your channel.
And that is Indianapolis complete here. Of course, yeah, as we said, we'll be seeing these guys for Talladega in trucks and cup. That is going to be a good time. Zach, though, I will send it your way on what you thought of tonight and your closing thoughts.
Yeah, Andrew, great race tonight. You know, one of our favorites won it in the end there with KJ. Very interesting to hear that he had the right rear as hot as 70. That's typically a cup level number that you would hit at a track like this. So I'm surprised he had it that hot. I think my setup when I was messing around, I was only getting the right rear up to maybe 250. So very surprising to hear he had it all the way up at about 270. That is crazy loose with running a 50-degree split. So again, I just can't say enough. The kudos to KJ and Mac Daddy on how loose they can run these things. It's just amazing. They're the best in the game at running them this loose. So that got him the win tonight, and you know, very solid race. So I think we'll have fun next week, Talladega. Hopefully we can get a few more drivers to come on out. And yeah, it was a good time.
That was a very good time. Always fun calling these things with you, man. Looking forward to Talladega. Of course, as I said, though, our next broadcast will be this coming Sunday. We're going to be starting up Hobo, and we'll see what those guys are going to be able to bring for us. And hey, hopefully I can do a good job for them as well. Of course, I'll get everything set up for that. And then we will, yeah, we'll bring you guys the coverage that Sunday night. Wanting to say that will also probably be about an 8:45-ish, somewhere between 8:45 and 9 o'clock start time for that broadcast, Eastern time, of course. Same will go for Tuesday for their cup race. Also Atlanta, both are the game track, so that'll be pretty cool. And then, yeah, we'll see you guys, of course, for Talladega here for Bomb Squad. But until then, though, thank you to those that did tune in. Appreciate everybody.
Real
And
quick.
Go for it.
Sorry. I hope we can see. I know none. I don't think we aren't, and JTN isn't broadcasting tomorrow night. But would be cool if KJ can make it out tomorrow night for his first race of the season and challenge for the W. As we know, Ricky J is looking for that 58th win there in the Cup Series. So go take it to him, KJ.
Hey, it's Indy, and I know that's KJ's track, so Yeah, if he runs, I'll be rooting for him, no doubt about it. Um, no offense to Ricky J, but hey, the Goober's got to earn it, you know.
Oh, Tyler's gotten a lot better at Indy too, supposedly, so you can't count out Tyler Mallon.
At this rate, Tyler Mallon's going to surpass everybody on the wins list. Let's be real here. He's racking them up.
Give him a few years. Maybe one more year.
Yeah, one more year. He'll be there. He'll be there, no doubt.
If he's full time.
If he continues full time. Thank you to everyone again. Thank you to Magoo and KJ for allowing me to put this on, and Zach, of course, for joining as always, and to everyone who has checked this out. Again, just continuing to improve things as we go forward. But we'll see everybody on Sunday night for Atlanta with Hobo. That is going to be a great group of guys to see race. Again, that will be fixed set on Sunday, open set on Tuesday. So all kinds of different stuff. So until then, though, everyone stay safe. Everyone just take care. And I don't think I've said this yet at the end of the stream, so I'll just say it now. Respect yourself. Love yourself. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.